Moyo bwe wajaluni epewe Obulamu neka bwe wajaluli waleta wenjawulo moyo bwe wajaluli watusumulula lera tangu lelo leta obulamu moyo leta eddembe wonna moyo leta essanyu moyo sikomeko lelo moyo 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 tangu mochipo chino sukwaniriza moyo sukwaniriza moyo zuro kwetaga moyo sukwetaga moyo wotalisisobola 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 moyo
Nobody to blame. Living is a dream. All stars combination. Lyric bro. Surface record.
We are here for you. We are here for you. We are here for you. Yeah. We are here for you.
Bagamba nti atabadde naye yalabirawo ng'amafumu gamufumisa entega lowooza weerabidde ti buli muntu katta kyova osekerera olinga obutunda budda naye kufenna kiba kisoboka katonda yayamba
togwamu manyo n'okuwanya boli mulwadde oba obulwadde bwolina tebwetteka nkuwabule manya balumbe tetutatambula engalagaludde ziri mu kasenya nkutyokuwe
olwaleero ndi wano naawe ekindese nzije nkugambe wafuna akabenje naye totya nnyo saba obe mugumu kubanga feno tuli naawe era essaala siri gy'oli ogenda kuwangaala n'abanzaale n'abalala.
We are here for you.
tulina
We are here for you. We are here for you. Yeah. We are here for you. Mukyala tumkyawangula obulwadde buno obwajja mukwatirewo mubambi mukuzaabana gumagumaguma buno obulamu bwo. Bring back your family. I know you'll survive.
I have good news for you. Bambi tosinda tokaraguma. Eno bibelawo you can still live so long. Labirira bulamu bwoguma tova ku mulamwa wadde bakuleka olabirira baana bo. Singomba birabirira baana bo.
batonna kikujje ye bwe yabuka n'omulwadde yesiiba ku sekidde olw'okuba yali amatidde watali kusonyiwa ye bamusinga obulwadde saba mutegeere mmwe abato oba abakadde siri mu kirwadde kikuttira mu budde katimbe obupa mande benna abategedde n'abo abakizoleyeza bakimanye nti kibafuludde ekyobutaba sitede kikuleetera obulwadde
olusonyisonyi luno lutalo lulina okukuba tebakusibira mu nyumba eddagala olina okulinywa bambi n'abasawo bye bakugamba fubanga nobikola kyekyo munange eddagala nwange eddagala tokana ddagala linywe ng'oyagala. We are here for you. We are here for you. We are here for you. Yeah. We are here for you.
Kutira babafu bakimunonye eddagala ekirwadde tokikweka wejjanjabula esobolera okuwangala kutira babafu bakimunonye eddagala ekirwadde tokikweka wejjanjabula esobolera okuwangala kutira babafu bakimunonye eddagala ekirwadde tokikweka wejjanjabula esobolera.
Good evening to you all, and thank you so much for joining us. You're very much welcome to our program, Obulamu, broadcasting live here at Big God TV, and we are based here in Turkey at Saray Kumkapi. Thank you so much for watching us, and I'm very blessed today that still I'm the one hosting the program. My name is Esther Ebiachi, and I love you all who are watching me. I want to send regards to you from my dear pastors, Pastor Viola Daniels and Pastor Matovu Isaac. And I also want to thank God for my producer, Mr. Chivira Arnold. Thank you so much for the good work you're doing. Today again, we are talking about health. For those of you who are new to our program, this program is called Obulamu, and in English you may just get to know we talk about health issues in this program. So here today again, we are here to continue with our first topic, the very first topic we talked about, and that is Obulamu. That is infections. And the very first time they talked about bacterial infections, and some of you had questions you asked and you were answered. So today we are continuing with infections. This time we are going to talk about fungal infections. And these are basically, you may call them fungal infections or yeast infections. And these usually live on your body, inside your body, almost everywhere. And they're found almost everywhere. So basically, that is what we are going to talk about. I want to remind you that we are partnering with Raising Hope International Friends based in Kampala, and this organization is specifically based on creating awareness on some health issues that are not attended to, but specifically with sickle cell. So if you still have any other question about sickle cell, because that was our previous topic, please just text or write a message to Raising Hope International Friends, and they will be there to answer you right away. So thank you so much for joining us, and today we are talking about fungal infections. So as I told you, fungal infections are also called yeast infections, meaning these infections usually live in places that are moist. Because if you're dealing with yeast, I'll give an example with this other yeast that is used to make any other things, make bread, make alcohol. If you put it somewhere that is moist, then it is bound to become a catalyst. Like it is bound to become to do something else, increase speed. That is the work of yeast. Because you put yeast in your bread, it will make it huge, and if it is alcohol, it is going to make it something else. You put yeast in your juice, it will no longer be juice. It will become something else. So yeast is usually a catalyst. So these are infections that are caused by yeast. So There are so many fungal infections we could talk about here in this specific topic, but I'm going to be a little bit specific with some of the examples of the fungal infections that we have, because they are so many and they are very important that we take note of. So, but there's so many people who are at risk of these fungal infections, and especially if your hygiene is not so good, or if you're diabetic, you're at a high risk of getting these fungal infections, and obese people too are also at a high risk of getting these infections, and so many other people. Talking about hygiene, it may not be necessarily washing your hands, or even let's say cleaning up where you sleep or something. It is beyond that. It is about your body hygiene, because I want you to understand that these infections live in our body, on our bodies. So they are actually acting as normal flora on your body wherever they are. But if they overgrow, if they increase in numbers and go beyond the normal numbers, then that is when they become problematic. That is when they become something else. That is when they become a challenge or problems, because if they are not attended to, they may cause lots and lots of other complications, other stuff that you may even fail to connect with, especially if you're not a health worker. And to some of you who are a little bit elite, or who are so elite, you may also go and type in your signs and symptoms that you're feeling to Google, and to bring you lots of diagnoses that might even confuse you the more, and yet the primary cause might have been something else. So I want to emphasize that these infections mostly have almost similar signs and symptoms, and they may try to also confuse you if you have not been specific and so critical with your health, or with your body, or with your experiences. So I want us to talk about Candida. And this is something that most people think it is a bacterial infection, and some people also think it is actually a sexually transmitted infection. Well, I'm here to let you know that Candida is not a sexually transmitted infection, though through contact, if someone has Candida, you can get it, because if someone has vaginal candidiasis, then you have sex which is unprotected, then you are exposed to it, and usually it affects the women, the ladies are the mostly affected people, and the young children. Yes, the very young children are at risk of getting the Candida or the candidiasis, and the elderly people too are at a high risk of getting the candidiasis. Then also the people with a very low immunity. So talking about the very low immunity, you may find that maybe you're having a chronic condition that you're already dealing with, and then your immunity is low, therefore you're exposed to candidiasis. So what are the leading factors to the overgrowth? I want us to look at those factors that lead to the overgrowth of the Candida albicans. You may call them the yeast infection. So one of those reasons or factors is taking antibiotics. Now, this is something that is a little bit confusing to some of you, because most of you, when you get these signs, because I know most of you are elite and you keep reading, about whatever you get to feel in your body, and then you get to start taking antibiotics, well, I'm telling you, this is also another leading factor of causing an overgrowth of the candida infection. So I want to caution everyone taking antibiotics, please let them be for a cause, let them be guided by the health worker, by a professional health worker. Please always consult the medical team, the medical personnel, before you take an antibiotic, because actually there is a lot of misuse of antibiotics for other cases that you may not even understand. So taking antibiotics is also a leading cause that leads to an overgrowth. So I'll also talk about the diet that you eat. High sugars also lead to overgrowth. Is also another factor. Now, there are some people on diet, for example, you may be on carbs, you want to lose some weight, but refined carbs actually expose you to having an overgrowth of the candida albicans in your body. And I'll talk about also if you're fond of taking too much alcohol, you're also at risk, because lots of alcohol lead to overgrowth of candidiasis in your body. So I've already talked about the low immune system. That is something that you cannot avoid. If your immunity is very low, of course you're bound to get to be at risk of so many diseases, so much. Like, we cannot number them, we cannot list them, because your system is already very low, and so your white blood cells are not able to fight against different diseases that come into contact with your body. So another factor is taking oral contraceptives. So this is also another one that leads to overgrowth of the candida albicans or the candidiasis. Now, some people really get to see these signs and they leave them unattended too. And if you are so very unfortunate, you may find that you present your case for I'm talking about specifically people on oral contraceptive pills as their method of family planning. So some of you get to see these signs, and if you're very unfortunate, you may find a health worker who is not able to explain all this to you. But this is a factor, a leading factor to an overgrowth of the candida albicans. So always consult the medical team, consult a health worker that is trusted to explain to you whatever you feel. Maybe somewhere, somehow in the near future, we could talk about that too, but for now we are talking about candidiasis. So if you're taking oral contraceptives, take note of whatever you feel. Take note of whatever comes your way. Take note of each and every change in your body. So another group of people that are at risk or have the leading factors of overgrowth is diabetes. Now, diabetes is also another thing on its own, and I talked about high sugars, diet with high sugars. Of course, someone diabetic is always at risk because of the high sugar levels. So that is just something so self-explanatory. So like, you have to take note. All I can caution you is take note of whatever you feel, whatever change you experience in your body. So I want to remind you that you are watching Big God TV, and we are based here in Aksaray, that is Turkey, Istanbul. And we are specifically here in Kumkapi, and our biggest host here is Big God Church International. So we are a Christian, this is a Christian project, and serving you in this way because you need the health. So we are continuing. we talked about the risk factors, the people at risk, and we talked about also the risk factors that lead to overgrowth. So another point is too much stress. Now, you cannot avoid stress. You may not avoid stress, but I'm telling you, if you're so stressed, it leads to so many things that you cannot count, and they come unnoticed, unattended to, not taken care of. And stress is also another thing on its own, but I know you can deal with stress. It is just the way you respond to it. It so much matters a lot. So stress is also one of the leading factors to an overgrowth of the candidiasis. So anyone listening to me right now, I want you to check through yourself and look at yourself. I'll most especially also emphasize on the points I've stressed out already, that the leading factors, you should take note of them, because prevention is actually better than cure. So if you're able to prevent, you're actually attending to a much better cause than you waiting to find it. Then you take note of it. But if you're still fine and you haven't experienced this, then you have to take note of this. And if you're experiencing any of these, please, you need to go to the hospital, find a trustable health worker to help you out. Or you can always write us messages on WhatsApp. You can give us a direct call. You can text us a direct message on the numbers flashed on the screen. So you could always ask your questions. And if you have a question on what I've said, please feel free to send it on our page, and I'll read them right here and then answer your question if at all you have any. And to you who has a personal question and it cannot be published publicly on the Facebook page that you're using to watch, then you can send a message on the WhatsApp number that is on your screen at any time. Send your message, give us a call, ask questions about your health, and you'll be answered right away. So we are talking about candidiasis as one of the fungal infections. There are so many fungal infections, but today we are dwelling on that. But it is not the only fungal infection commonly affecting people. We shall get to know that you'll find that there are some of the infections are related to that are caused by the fungus, athlete's foot, the ringworms. And if time allows, we can also go ahead and talk about all that, because these are all fungal infections. And remember, I told you they live on as in our bodies almost everywhere. So let's go ahead and talk about the symptoms of candidiasis. So we have oral thrush. Now someone may ask, what is oral thrush? Those are patches found in your mouth. You can they can be evident on your lips, on inside your mouth, on your tongue, inside your gums, and if they may even proceed and you feel them around the throat as you swallow. And these are mostly common still in the newborns, and you find that even the elderly experience the oral thrush, and people with the low immunity. Now, oral thrush also affects people with poor hygiene. I want to caution everyone, oral hygiene is very important, because it exposes you to so much, that you may end up having other stuff that you did not even ever think of. But with oral thrush, with oral candidiasis, please take note of your oral hygiene. Now, some people may think that as long as I brush, that is all with my oral hygiene. It is more than brushing. take note of when you brush, how you brush. You have to take note of that, and take note of what you use to brush, because all that is something that you have to look at. And the people with removable dentures, please, you have to take note of your oral hygiene, because you are at a greater risk of getting oral candidiasis. And I also want to let you know that if you are experiencing oral candidiasis, you will find that it is associated with pain and some bleeding, especially when it's cracked. When you crack the patches inside your mouth, you'll find that they may also start bleeding, and with your gums. And you find that sometimes if you're using a hard toothbrush to brush, you find that your gums even start bleeding. Or if you're eating something quite hard, you'll find that if you're having oral candidiasis, you'll also notice that you'll experience the bleeding in your gums. So looking still at the oral patches in your gums, you find that, on your tongue, you find that they're also associated with the redness on top of them. And I'm not saying everyone with a red tongue has oral candidiasis, because to some people that is their nature, their tongues are red. And I'm not saying that they have oral candidiasis, but with the patches, with the patches on your tongue, the white patches on your tongue and on your gums, you'll find that they are associated with the redness on them. So please take note, because these may actually proceed to the esophagus and cause other infections, and also may even make you start feeling pain as you swallow. Because I told you earlier on that if you leave this infection unattended to, it may cause other stuff, other conditions. It may make you go to another phase that will bring you complications. So please take note of this, take note of that, take note of everything you feel, every experience you get in your body, because you are meant to be normal, not having things that you don't understand. And I want to urge you, please always find a health worker that you trust, that you can ask questions, that you can explain to, and please feel free to always tell the health worker how you feel, what you feel, and what exactly is happening, because that is the only way you can prevent yourself from getting into the late stages or the complicated stages of reaching a point where you get to experience the complications. So please always try to make sure you find someone you can trust to explain to how you feel, and he or she will find a solution for you. So another symptom of candidiasis is fatigue and tiredness. Now, how does this come about? Well, we talked about the people at risk and the leading factors of the overgrowth of the candidiasis. Now, the low immunity is something I'll dwell on. Like I said earlier, if you have a very low immunity, you're predisposed to so much stuff. So just imagine your immunity is very low. Let's say you're having a chronic situation or any other condition that is making your immunity to be low. Let's say you are having a deficiency in some of the vitamins in your body, any nutritional stuff that may be affecting you, then this all will lead to your low immunity. And someone with a low immunity can never escape the fatigue and tiredness. And mostly you find that people who are always feeling tired and who are having fatigue majorly, specifically, most times don't have enough magnesium in their body. So Nutrition is very important in your body. Nutrition is very, very important in your body. And so please mind about how much you take, how nutritious your food is. Look at your nutrition as something that you have to attend to always, because it contributes a lot to your health. And if you don't have anything, any knowledge you know about nutrition, I'll remind you that the numbers are flashed right back on your screen. You may look through and please send us a message. There's always that package for the nutrition stuff, and we will answer you. We will talk to you on how you can benefit with the nutritional part of your body and how you can balance your diet. So I want to thank you all for watching, because we are here broadcasting on Big God TV, and I'm seeing so many people here are watching. Please keep watching, keep sharing. I want to see that everyone benefits with this program, everyone gets to understand, and everyone gets to find where to find where he or she can seek help from. So keep sharing, keep posting, keep writing your messages, keep asking questions. Please, I need to see that you're asking questions, because I'm here to answer them. So today we are talking about candidiasis, and we are talking about the symptoms of candidiasis. Do not forget, I was telling you about your nutrition. Please mind about your diet. It is very, very important that you mind about your diet, because you lack any nutritious event in your body, you'll see that you get to face something else, or you put your body at risk of having a very low immunity, and this will lead to something else. So with this today specifically, please mind about how much magnesium you have, the vitamin B6. It is very important. More information always is written here. You ask questions, but specifically for today, I want questions about what you're talking about. Don't ask me about your nutrition today, because I know some of you get that as your major interest, and you want to ask me now. In this program, we are talking about candidiasis. So far on the symptoms, we said oral thrush. I hope we've all understood what oral thrush is. And another thing is feeling tired, having fatigue is also something that is associated with the candidiasis. Now, I want to go ahead and talk about the skin infections. Skin infections in candidiasis. Now, candidiasis can affect the skin in various areas, various ways, various areas, and you may find that you may have a vaginal candidiasis, but then it will associate with some other things. Now, I'm going to explain this so that you get to understand it more, and you get to know how it comes about. But I'll do this after our break, when we come back, and that is when I'll also try to read your comments and read your questions in case you've sent any, and this is when I'll also get to see whoever is watching, whoever has liked and shared my posts. And thank you so much for watching. And I want to remind you, watching Big God TV here, based in Aksaray, Istanbul, Turkey, specifically here in Kumkapi. Thank you so much. We are going for our break. We'll be right back.
Chibuga, kuchibuga Yerusalemi, 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 batendota kuchibuga Yerusalemi, ihechira womupanga, batendota kuchibuga Yerusalemi, 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 batendota kuchibuga Yerusalemi, ihechira womupanga. Lumumbulwa ekubo ngasetanya mbuza Yesu nazichukiza ntindi mutambuze okusubwa ekulu njulula mubire
Thank you so much for watching our program, Obulamu, and thank you for keeping on. Thank you for watching. This is Big God TV, live here in Istanbul, Turkey, Aksaray, Kumkapi. We are back again, and we are continuing with our topic, candidiasis. That is what we are based on amongst the fungal infections we are having. So, I want to thank you all for watching. Stenda Elikindu, thank you so much for being on. Kenny Vlega Kennel, thank you so much for watching. My dear Pastor Viola Daniels, thank you for watching. And Mirembe Grace, thank you so much for watching. Please keep asking me questions. Keep sending me those questions. I'll be reading them out and answering them. Viola Daniel says, smart and so thank you for appreciating. Thanks for the compliment. Mirembe Grace is saying thanks for the program. Nasuna, you are watching. Thank you so much for watching. And please don't forget to share. I want to see you sharing. Vlega Keno said, I would need to know like 3 of... Hi. Kenny, I didn't really understand the question you asked, but I think if you can rephrase the question, please do that for me. Your first question, actually, I didn't really understand it. Don't learn Emmanuel Bright, thank you for watching. Jagenda Samuel, oh my God, thank you so much for watching. Thanks. I hope you're sharing, you're not watching alone. Tumusime Sikola, thank you for watching. Oh, there are so many people. Barnabas, thank you for watching. Thanks for joining. I hope you are learning, and I hope you are being blessed, and I really hope you're sharing. It is the only way I can know that you are really learning and you're benefiting. Kalema Godfrey, thank you for watching. So there are so many people here. I'll keep reading them. Kalema is saying you are learning, and Blega Keno, you're asking what are the antibiotics? Wow, this is a very good question. What are antibiotics? Well, these are drugs, and they're specified drugs, specifically just in that class of antibiotics. This is a very wide thing. I don't know if I can explain it here when I've not gone off topic. But I want to encourage you. Please contact us on our WhatsApp. We could explain more, but I can give a few of the common examples that you also know. And that is amoxicillin. Metronidazole is also an antibiotic. There are so many that you usually use, but mostly Ampiclox. Those are the most common antibiotics you easily find. And please, like I said, some of these questions that are not really based on the topic we are discussing now, I'll have to answer them some other time, or I'll try to contact you via WhatsApp, or you can send us a message on our WhatsApp number on your screen, and you'll be answered. You'll be given more details about whatever you want to know. Kaka Bashir, thank you so much for watching. Hey, thank you for showing me your love. And Blega Kano, thank you so much for always asking questions. Charles Yiki, oh my God, I'm so overwhelmed. Thank you for watching. Prince Obia, thank you for watching. You're saying nice teaching for mothers. Madina Nambiru, thank you for watching. Angola Pintek, thank you for watching. Prince Obia is still asking what are the ways of treating it now. That is something we are going to look at as we continue with our program. Just keep watching. I'm going to do that to answer your question right away when I reach to that. But remember, right now we're still talking about the signs and symptoms, things you can look at and then question yourself about candidiasis. Kenny, thank you so much for watching and always commenting. You want me to elaborate more about oral thrush. Now, like I said earlier, oral thrush is categorized or characterized by the patches or white patches on your tongue and on your gums. White patches. When you look at your tongue and you find white patches on your tongue and on your gum inside your mouth, and they are also, the oral thrush is also characterized with the redness on it. So it is not just about the redness. They have to be white patches on your tongue, on your gums, and then they may also contain the redness. Now, if you touch those white patches, you find that when you try to scratch them or scratch them, you find that they're painful and they may even cause bleeding. So that is what we mean that is what I mean when I say oral thrush. Kenny, I hope you are answered. Still, Maggie, thanks for joining us. As I'm still looking for many questions. And Prince Obia asking what are the local ways of treatment. I still think we shall talk about that when we are learning how we can manage candidiasis. I'm going to talk about that. Now, Kenny, you're still asking the signs of infections. Now, the sign of the infection we are talking about, when you say infections, it is broad. It is so wide. I cannot actually just even finish it in one day, even if you gave me 24 hours. But we specified these infections last time in the first program. They talked about bacterial infections, and today we are tackling the fungal infections. And still under fungal infections, we are talking about candidiasis. Kenny, please. I'm glad that you love knowing, and I'm so happy that you're asking questions. But what I'm talking about right now, what I'm explaining, is the signs and symptoms of the candidiasis. The oral thrush you asked about is one of the signs. So please, thank you for watching and thank you for the good questions. And I want to remind you that you're watching Big God TV and we are based here in Kumkap. We have so many programs running here on Big God TV. We have Song on Point broadcasting every Saturday. And that program is run by very wonderful ladies, Momo and Grace. I bet you'll enjoy them to the maximum, and that program starts at 4:30 to 6:30 p.m. So you can relax with their program, Song on Point, every Saturday. And we also have on Friday, the Friday Deliverance Service. You can join us in prayers every Friday starting at 8 p.m. So you can always join us in our program. And I want to excite you again with another upcoming program, Worship With Me. And it will always be there every Thursday. Keep watching Big God TV and we shall remind you. And that is when you get to know when it is starting. But it is going to be broadcasting every Thursday. Worship With Me. If you love worshiping God, just wait for that program because it is upcoming. And every Tuesday, we shall be having a program here run by Brother Donlan Emmanuel Bright. It will be called Power of Prayer. So wait for that program and you'll be blessed. If you want to learn how to pray, you want to pray with someone, you'll always have to contact that number that will be, and he'll guide you. So please keep watching Big God TV for more other programs that are upcoming. And on Sunday we have Biosomo Bitegera. If you want to learn more about the Bible, if you read and you don't understand some things, that program is there for you to help you understand the Bible more. And it is always from 3:30 to 4:30 p.m. every Sunday. And then we also have another program. Oh my God, there are so many programs here on Big God TV. Serve this generation. Oh my God, mothers, parents out there, fathers out there, any guardian out there, you need to watch Save This Generation, broadcasting here on Big God TV each and every Sunday from 5 to 6 p.m. So I want to keep thanking you for watching Big God TV. And like I said before, we are talking about the symptoms of candidiasis. Sikola is saying we are learning and be blessed. Thanks for the program, Msao Esther. So Ken is saying give us 3 signs and symptoms of the infections and how to overcome them. Thank you so much, Kenny, for your questions, and thank you for watching. So we talked about oral thrush, we talked about fatigue, we talked about and we are still talking about the signs and symptoms. Now, you want how to overcome fatigue. I explained the sign and I told you we shall know how to manage this condition if given time. But let us try to understand the signs and symptoms. In the later time, we are going to know how to manage, how we treat, how we overcome it. So can you please keep watching? We are continuing with our program. So I want to also emphasize on another sign, and that is the recurrent genital and urinary tract infections. So if you're experiencing this kind of recurrent urinary tract infection every time you go to hospital, you may also want to question the candidiasis, because you'll find that the signs of the current genital and urinary tract infection, you'll find that you have the redness, the swelling in your genital area, it is itching and it is painful, and mostly it affects the women. You'll find that you'll also experience a thick white discharge from the genital areas. So please take note of all that. So if you're having recurrent urinary tract infections, you may need to question candidiasis, and so you may need to base on that to manage that condition. So candidiasis may also cause digestive issues. So some of these unattended to infections may also lead to other problems, because I want you to understand that the human body is a system, and so it connects to each and every part. So if one part is affected, it is prone to affect another part if it has not been attended to. So it may also affect the digestive system, and I've already told you earlier on that those small amounts of Candida albicans in your body are not harmful. But if there is an overgrowth, if there is an increase, you may find that they become problematic and cause so many destructions in your body and cause lots of disease. And another sign and symptom of the candidiasis is the sinus infection. Now, there are so many people suffering from the sinus infections, and they're taking lots of antibiotics, they're taking lots of drugs, and they're self-medicating themselves. Unfortunately, they are not going to the health workers for help. But signs of the sinus infections, we have the runny nose, nasal congestion, and the loss of smell, the constant headaches. My dear, I want to caution you, please, if you get those signs, or if you're suffering from a long-standing sinus infection that is lasting for more than a month, you will need to seek for help from a health worker that you can trust. You need to go to hospital and rule out the cause of the sinus, because most of the sinuses are difficult to manage just because it is hard to think about the candidiasis. But that one that mostly lasts for 1 month and above, you have to question candidiasis. So please take note of that. So some of these sinus infections may be treated with antibiotics, but that is in the acute phase. Now, if I say the acute phase, that is when you've just started experiencing that for the first time, it has not been recurring, and it has not taken more than 1 day or 2, because these will manifest, the signs and symptoms that I've talked about actually usually happen in the first hours, first days of the infection, when you get the infection. So if these sinus infections last for 1 month, then I bet you have to question candidiasis. Now, another symptom is skin and nail infection. Now, this is something you have to deal with. The skin and the nail, it may be the toes, it may be the fingernails, it may be your skin. And now this is when the other candida, other fungal infections come in, where you'll find that you have the athlete's foot, you have the ringworms, you have the nail infections caused by the Candida albicans. But that happens after there is overgrowth of the Candida albicans. So you have to take note of your nails and your skin. How is your skin looking like? If you experience the itching, the visible rash on your skin, and sometimes it may also be associated with the redness. And for the ringworms, I think we shall also have time for that type of infection on its own. But for the skin, some of the things that may predispose you, or that may put you at more risk and alternate the environment of your skin, is the type of soap you use, the cosmetics you use, because some of them, especially the ones that are antibacterial, expose you to these fungal infections and lead to overgrowth of the Candida infection, or the Candida fungal infection in your body. So take note of the moisturizers you use, the soap that you use, the cosmetics that you use on your skin, because it may make you or lead you to have the candidiasis. So take note of that. So another sign and symptom, and very importantly, is the joint pain. Now, this happens when now the candida infection enters into your bloodstream and affects your bones. Now, if these travel through your bloodstream and get in contact with your bones, they will go ahead and affect the bones. And I want to emphasize that mostly this type of condition usually happens when someone has undergone surgery or has experienced or has been through that. But it is not just that. Sometimes when there is overgrowth of the candida infection and you leave it unattended to, it is going to go ahead and extend. Like I told you earlier, if you leave it unattended to, it will go ahead infecting other areas, because I said earlier on that the human body is a system, and so it connects to each and every part. One part leads to the other. So if the infection travels through your bloodstream, it is bound to happen that it affects the bone and affects so much. And I'm telling you that you'll find that this candida infection will lead you to have arthritis. You'll have pain in your body, the swelling, especially the joints are the ones that are most affected, and the hips. And it is not something actually very common, but it is something that is really able or in position to really become a headache in managing it. So please take note of these infections. Take note of your body. And to remind you that you're watching Big God TV, and today is Monday. So tomorrow is Tuesday. Wait for the next program on Tuesday that is bound to happen tomorrow in the evening from 9 to 10 p.m. same time as this program, and get to know the power of prayer, get to learn how to pray, get someone you want to, if you want to pray with someone you're going through any situation. Tomorrow is the day for you, and I believe you're going to be blessed. So please keep watching Big God TV, and we are broadcasting here in Aksaray, Kumkapi, and we are in Istanbul, Turkey. So please just keep on watching Big God TV with so many programs that are beneficial to you and your health. I want to give a vote of thanks to my producer and my manager as well, Mr. Chivira Arnold. God bless you so much, and thank you for the good work you're doing. And I also want to thank my dear pastors and vision bearers of this place and this project, Pastor Viola Daniels and Pastor Isaac Matovu and your family. Thank you so much for supporting us. Thank you so much for everything. And I also want to remind you that this program is partnering with Raising Hope International Friends. You can always reach us out. The information is flashed right on your screen. And our dear sponsors, Beautiful Exchange, I have not forgotten you. It was just that a trick. I wanted to say it as I'm ending the program. If you want to look great like I'm doing, someone mentioned in a comment, someone mentioned in a comment that I was smart. If you want to look smart, you want to trust anyone, please find us on our Facebook page, Beautiful Exchange, and you are going to look great. You are going to look smart, just like I'm looking smart, like I was complimented by someone. So Laban Okecho, thank you so much for joining the program. Unfortunately, it is about to end. But we were discussing about fungal infections, and specifically we were tackling the candidiasis. Thank you so much. So Kenny, thank you for watching the program. We've been on since we started, and now we're about to end, and you're still watching. Thank you so much. Thanks so much for that question. So today we've tackled about that, and our time is fast spent. We are still left on how do we overcome. Kenny asked that question. How do we overcome this infection when it comes? Our time is really short right now. We've run out of time, but When I come back, please keep sending your messages. Keep sending those questions in case you have remembered something. Write it down and send it to me. I'm going to answer it right away. So when we come back next week, that will be Monday, same time, 9 to 10 p.m. We are going to talk about how we overcome these infections. And probably if we have time, we shall also tackle other fungal infections and talk about them. But when we come back, how we overcome treatment. Someone Prince Obia is asking the natural treatment without medicine. We shall look at all that, and we shall look at what you have to do when you get that infection. So please just keep watching. This program is always broadcasting every Monday, 9 to 10 p.m. Thank you so much for watching and being live here. I've been Esther Ebiachu, and show me your love by sharing this video so that other people can keep watching. I want to say that be blessed.
Kabiranga tachakaba oba yabachi obulamu bweyezawa oba kalagawa nakuzino kasabirizani basebo ni bulungi muleme kweraliikirira ni bulungi muleme kweraliikirira sakomya kukaba bakulu sakomya kusinda wekabire nako zino yatandalaza yamponye ebigambo byabwe nambiko bwerere bwange yamponye okuswalaswala nga nali naswala dda negosabye omunyolo olumu nakulalasa tonewuwenza mulisa tewalimba wali wanjasika naye okunjogerera otyo abantu bonna ne bamanya tegweyanyambaza wamma Yesu webale nali naswala dda ono gwe nafuna Yesu asigenze mala abaye yagamba siwakanye nange kamumireka kwekyo teyasingisa omuliro mungi amazzi amangi ekiwambe ky'okukwasijewali yayogera bulamu zine yali afa nepona golokoka suula omuggo gwo tambula enyuma bwana bw'empologoma bubulwe tolibulwa yadde ebibonyobonyo byo bingi zekuwanguza mu byonna totya mu muliro ndi naawe mu mazzi amangi tolibbira naliwo taata wo yafa yakuzaala toli mulekwa namwanduze bbaawo kankulabirire nsekakase sakomya kusinda
wekabakabira Yesu wesinasindira Yesu
tongana ndekankabe tongana ndekansinde
wekabakabira Yesu wesinasindira
yanteka ne bwekaba yansangula
wekabakabira Yesu wesingasindira Yesu
nabakabira tebanyamba yamukabira ye yantaasa
wekabakabira Yesu wesingasindira Yesu
yayamba Dawudi yayamba Daneri ono yeye mwesigwa
wekabakabira Yesu wesingasindira Yesu
tongana ndeka nkabe tongana ndeka mukawole
wekabakabira Yesu wesingasindira Yesu
gakana bwakabira Yesu nange kankama nyambe
wekabakabira Yesu wesingasindira Yesu
bali bwe bakuwa bakoderega ono bwakuwata kosanyukira
wekabakabira Yesu